Alright guys, I'm gonna let out the big secret. So, I believe I am the first person to ever put a remote controlled Motorguide trolling motor on an Ascend 12T kayak. I literally cannot find them anywhere. I cannot find a video anywhere on YouTube or anywhere of this kayak with this trolling motor. There's a lot of like transom mounted trolling motors and stuff that are like foot pedal and everything, but I cannot find one with a remote control Motorguide trolling motor. So this thing is an absolute unit. It's insane. Like it's like blowing my mind every time I look at it. So basically, I ordered it off Amazon a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it's about $768 I think for the most basic one. So basically, to release it, I added some of these, some rope to it right now, just for now. Basically, I'm gonna pull this one. It's gonna release the foot pedal, and then I'm going to guide it down with this other rope. It's really weird to do this while I'm standing up and not in the kayak. There you go. So, I know that's super rough. Usually not that rough on my stuff, but it's really awkward to kind of do that while I'm standing up. It'll be a lot easier in the kayak itself when I can get in. So basically, you have your little remote here. This is the most basic one. So you have your right and left, your fast, slow, and then turn it on and off. When you first get the kayak, right, when you first get the motor, you're gonna press the left and the right at the same time, and this will sync the remote to the motor. So basically, you know, right goes right, left goes left, and then you can increase the speed. Well, you gotta turn it on first. Increase the speed and lower the speed, but it's super quiet. I mean, you can hear it, it's like, it's insane. And obviously the same way to put it back in. When you turn this on, whatever setting, like whatever speed you set it at, if you go to turn the prop off, this doesn't turn the motor off, this turns the prop off. So if you have it at like full speed and you go to turn this back on, you turn the prop back on, it's gonna go back to whatever you set it at. So if you're standing up and you turn this thing off and you're at like full speed and then you turn it back on, it's gonna just haul butt and you're probably gonna fall out. So make sure that you kind of like set it at a low speed and then turn it off. Okay, so basically I'm gonna go over how I rigged this thing. And it was not easy whatsoever. So with the Ascend kayak, there's no access ports. There's only one big box in the middle, and then you have a little storage compartment right before that, before the cup holder. There's nothing in the bow whatsoever. It's all just solid. So I had to cut a hole right here in the center, and I took like a little emergency tube that came with a paddle board. So I cut the top of that off, drilled a hole, and then silicone that to the front of the bow right here. So now I still have access to all this stuff in here. So if I pull this back up, so this is a little release lever I was talking about, and I just tied some 550 cord over it, rotate it in, and lock it. Now, there's a little pin right here. I'm gonna pull it out real quick. There's a little pin that you pull out, and this pin right here is what secures the motor in. So this little pin right here is what secures the motor. So you can actually lock this pin. But basically you pull that pin out and now you can pull your motor out. So that little pin, you can actually like lock this into the mount for the motor and then lock your trolling motor to your kayak so nobody can just come by and just snatch it off your kayak and walk away with an $800 trolling motor. Very important to have a good mount on there. Slide that pin back in, it locks in this little tab right here, and then you can put a little padlock on there. So that keeps it secure. So now we're gonna move to the back. And my lens is a little dirty. So now we're gonna move to the back. So this is how I rigged the wires. You know, I went with 2 grommets. I probably should have just went with 1. So there's a positive wire and a negative wire. And then I have a little fuse box here. This little fuse box actually is gonna protect that motor. So if it's running too hot, that'll actually flip over and this little tab will flip out and that just resets it. So, and that's also kind of how, you know, I can just turn the motor off. I just flip that switch and it turns it off. And then I just have like a regular deep cycle marine battery, and then I bought a solar panel. So the solar panel, basically in Alaska there's a lot of big lakes here, and you know, you don't want to get stuck out there. Trust me, you do not want to get stuck in the middle of one of these lakes with no way to get around besides a paddle. I've been there, done that way too many times. So basically, I'm always gonna have the paddles on my kayak just in case something happens with the motor. But the solar panel is gonna hopefully keep the battery charged. I mean, it should last quite a while by itself, but that's what the solar panel is for. So basically, all in all, the trolling motor was $768. The plug was 25 bucks. The fuse was another 25. Battery was 109. And the solar panel was 50. So we're talking a little over about $1,000 now. So it's kind of up there. But this is like the basic of basic trolling motor. It's like there's no spot lock, there's no sonars, and none of that. It's literally just a remote control trolling motor. So if you look on Amazon, they have a 36-inch Motorguide trolling motor. That is this one right here. They also make like a 55 and 40 something, 48 I think. But people were taking those 45 or 48s or 55s, whatever they were, and they were cutting down to 36 inches anyway. So Motorguide decided that they were just going to make a 36 and make it for kayaks. That way people would stop voiding the warranty by cutting the shafts and making them shorter. So thanks to Motorguide that they actually did that. That helps out a lot. But that's pretty much the entire setup. I'm sorry, but I don't really have an installation video of everything. You can kind of just like see kind of how I worked it with this one. You can do your own thing. I'm sure you're going to anyway. But the front hole, like mounting that bottom mount was the hardest thing. It was like the hardest part of this whole project. I cut my hand up pretty good, sticking my hand in there. I could barely fit my hand in there, and then putting washers in my hand and the wrench and all that in this hole, trying to get the nuts and stuff on the bolts was just an absolute pain. But got it done, and that was probably the hardest part. Then I just drilled two holes for the wires, run grommets, and then this came off Amazon too. This whole rack that you see this thing sitting on, this was like a lifesaver for this whole project. It kind of just suspended the kayak for me, and when I put the wires in, I kind of just like lowered the nose and the wires just fell to the front. It was super easy. So yeah, this whole rack is like 20 bucks. Like this whole system, this whole pulley system is like 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll have the link to all of this stuff on my YouTube in the description. Make sure to use my code. It helps me out a little bit. It'll help you out. I'm pretty sure it gives you a discount or whatever. But that's pretty much it. But I am basically begging you guys now to subscribe to this channel, because this summer is going to be absolutely insane. I have halibut trips planned. I'm gonna be pike fishing pretty much every single day that I can. I'm gonna be fishing every day, every single day. I have, what else? November, I'm going back to Georgia for the rut. And, you know, I'm just traveling all of Alaska. Well, most of Alaska. Caribou hunting is coming up in August, September. I'll have videos for that. And then I have that drone. If you looked at my last video, the hunting in Georgia 2022 for the rut, the intro to that video was the new drone footage. It's absolutely cool. It just fits in my pocket and I can just take it wherever. I'm gonna take it on the kayak and I'm gonna do a bunch of drone videos from the kayak. So it's gonna be absolutely insane, and y'all get to see like how beautiful Alaska really is, basically from a bird's eye view. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you turn those notifications on and hit the subscribe button. Helps me out a lot, like a ton. And I definitely appreciate the 350 subscribers I have so far. I just started this video, or this channel, not too long ago, but there's another secret gem that I brought with me when I PCS to Alaska, and I'm bringing kind of some Florida tactics to Alaska that I'm pretty sure the Alaskans aren't ready for yet. And that is this bad boy right here. This is a Jig Pro slow pitch jigging rod. So I'll be using that to halibut fish with in the summer. Now I'm sure some of the captains are gonna be like, dude, what are you doing using that tiny little bass rod to try to catch some 100-pound halibut? But I'm crazy, so I'm gonna do it anyway, and we'll see how it goes. Another thing that I did, actually got a pretty good deal, was I got a 1999 Honda Recon 250. It's manual, it has a foot shifter, it's pretty fast for what it is, but the thing I like the most is that it's super light. Like I could literally like pick this thing up out of a hole if I get stuck and just go on my merry way. But what I did to it already, like the first week that I had it, I put LED headlights on it, I put a winch on it. This was literally some trash in a dumpster that I found. I think it was part of a chair or a table or something. And I bent it, welded it, all that stuff. I didn't measure anything, which is insane. I literally just like eyeballed it and then welded it on there, and it came out super nice, super strong. But I'm super excited for this year, guys. Y'all make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's gonna help me out a lot. Y'all are gonna get to see how I live and how Alaska is. And you know, y'all are just living vicariously through me, basically. Or if you want to fish with me or hunt with me or whatever, you literally just send a comment. Put something in the comments. I answer pretty much every single person that leaves a positive comment or asks me questions on my channel. So y'all stay tuned, hit the notification button or turn it on, and then subscribe, and I will make sure to not disappoint. So y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all in the next one, and I will have the installation of that, the LED pods and the winch on my 4-wheeler on my YouTube soon. See ya.